Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the Reptile Barn. I just wanted to announce that we have an official sponsor for the expo. So the Alaska Expo is coming up in August, and we have been talking with Shipyourreptiles, and they want to sponsor the show. So we'll talk more about what this means in future videos, but right now I just wanted to highlight this company in specific. We have used them our entire career in the reptile hobby, and no one else, really, because they are just that good. So, to highlight a few of the reasons why I think this company is so excellent and why we're so happy to be working with them now. First, the convenience. You can get everything from them. If you want to ship a reptile and it's not venomous, you don't need anywhere else. And if you don't know what you're doing, you don't have to dig through, scads of information and figure it out on your own, although you should do some research. But you can call them on the phone. I have done this. And say, hey, I've got a bearded dragon, or I've got a whatever, and it's this big, and I live here, and I'm shipping to here. What do I need? And they will help you. They'll say, all right, this is the shipping kit, and that includes the box, the labeling, the insulation, if you need a snake bag or a deli to hold the animal inside, all of the the little paperwork you need for the CITES stuff, saying declaring what it is and how many, everything you need. They will walk you through. They'll say, this is the kit you want, and they'll ship it right to your door, and you have everything you need right there. If you need a heat pack, if you need a cold pack, and they'll help you with that too. They're like, all right, looks like your temperatures are doing this. The place you're shipping to is doing this, so you're going to need XYZ to keep the temperature stable in that box. It takes so much stress out of the process. I don't know if I've ever told this story before on the vlog. When I got started in the reptile world, before I got started, when me and Liz were considering whether we wanted to do this, my number one concern, in fact, I was so concerned I almost decided not to become a breeder, was that living in Alaska, it would just be impossible to ship. I was so worried about that. We're so far away, and our climate is so different. I was just panicked about shipping animals anywhere outside of the state. And it's not viable to be a reptile breeder that only, sells within Alaska. I didn't know what to do until we learned about Shipyourreptiles. And that just changed everything. So the second thing, the price. Because they do so much volume with FedEx, you get a massive discount. Even if you go through the process to become a FedEx shipper yourself, you don't get nearly the discount that you do if you use Shipyourreptiles. It's, to me, absolutely shocking that anyone wouldn't use Shipyourreptiles. Even if you wanted to make your own shipping kit or whatever, why would you still not buy the actual shipment, the label, through Shipyourreptiles when it's so much cheaper? That's weird. Regardless, you get a huge discount, which is awesome, right? Third, and to me, absolutely the most important, is the customer service. I kid you not. I'm not exaggerating. I have never come across better customer service in the reptile hobby than Shipyourreptiles has. And I'm not just talking about the shipping part of the industry. The entire reptile world. And I have come across some spectacular companies, breeders, etc. So this isn't to put them down. It's just Shipyourreptiles is another level. You can call them on the phone and they will walk you through every single question you have. And everyone I have ever spoken with there is perfect. They are polite. They are knowledgeable beyond anything you could ever want. And they will help you no matter how long it takes. You can email them and they will respond. If you have a problem, something that comes up sometimes is you make a shipment and it gets stuck in Memphis, the huge FedEx hub, and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? They're on it. They have access to the FedEx people that we do not have as regular people, right? And they can call them. I've had them even manage to track down like individual ramp agents and be like, you got to get into this box, make sure it is indoors because it can't just sit outside overnight due to the delay. Make sure it stays safe and warm. they're just fantastic. And then they contact me and are like, all right, this is what we've done. This is where your animal is. This is what went wrong. This is what we're doing about it. It is, first off, because they're so expert and they're so on top of everything, I am 100% certain they have saved my animals' lives before. Multiple of my animals, where a shipment just went wrong and they were on it so fast and they took care of it for me before I even knew what had gone wrong. So there's that, but it's also just the peace of mind knowing like I can make these shipments and there's a whole team of experts, absolute experts, that are also clearly dedicated to making sure that the animals are safe. You know, they're not just good customer service. They obviously care about the animals. There's just no other reason they would go so above and beyond, right? So the convenience, getting everything you need from them, the price itself, and the customer service, this is just one of the premier companies in the reptile world. I have been happy with them from the very start. I cannot see myself ever shipping with anybody else. Yeah, so there's a lot more that they do and that they can teach you. Their website is fantastic. We will put a link in the description section. You know, the frequently asked questions section is massive, and they have so much information about shipping. You know, any concerns you have, they probably have already answered on their website. Where I live in Alaska, sometimes the temperatures are dramatically different between here and where I'm shipping. They can walk you through how to deal with that. They can tell you, you know, times where you just shouldn't ship. Like, oh, you didn't realize that the massive storm was coming through Indianapolis and that's where your flight was going to route through. Just don't ship that day. You know, they are on top of every detail. They are super experienced, so they've been there and done that with anything that could possibly go wrong. Again, could not recommend them enough. As anyone who's long-term watched this channel knows, I have been talking about this company for way longer than just the sponsorship. And whenever the sponsorship ends, I will continue to promote them because I think that it is the safest way to ship your reptiles, right? No pun intended. So that is all. Very excited to introduce our sponsor for the expo. You'll be hearing a lot more about them if you watch our vlog or any of our social media as we advertise them and promote them and try and teach people about why it's so good. Put a lot of people's minds at ease, hopefully. Maybe you live somewhere that's remote, like Alaska, and you really want a reptile that's from another state, and you're like, oh, but it's too bad I can't get it shipped. Well, you probably can. And you probably can safely. So for anyone in that situation, or breeders who worry about shipping things out, you know, you see so many breeders who are like, local pickup only, and I'm like, well, that's not necessary. You could ship. You know, if you live in the United States, there's very few places where you couldn't use FedEx. And anywhere that FedEx has overnight service, you can use Ship Your Reptiles. So that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, we are the Reptile Barn.